So let's get started. This game is The Hero's Legend 2, Secrets of the Legend by EddyTheOliviera. I hope I pronounced that right. And we're going to take a quick look and see how the demo looks. We're going to do 5 minutes of looking around at the overworld and how it's designed, and then take 5 minutes and see how the first dungeon looks. Um, and that way you get an idea of what the demo is like. I can give my opinions on it, but I'm not giving away everything, so you still have a reason to pick up and play the demo for yourself. Unless it ends up being a very, very short demo, in which case I guess I'll be showing off the whole thing. I'm trying to avoid any demos that are only cutscenes, so, and I'm trying to do these in, well, I'm doing them in alphabetical order just to try and make sure I have, I get all of them and I don't do one more than once or miss one. So, let's get started. No, I'm not going to read this. I'm pretty sure you guys can read. If not, then I am very impressed that you're able to get around the website. Right off the bat, I want to say I really, really like how the people in this are using the colors that the game, that the NES game would normally use. There's fewer straight, direct black outlines, and they're outlined in mainly colors that are already being used or in shades of blue. There's a couple spots where they're still black, but it doesn't clash as much as most games I see try to use different game sources for their graphics, like for instance here being Game Boy and classic NES. They go together very well. I like that touch. Nothing bugs me more than not matching graphics, honestly. Well, that and cutoff kind of bothers me a bit. So far, I'm really liking how this looks, and it looks like something I wouldn't be surprised to see on an NES. If the original Legend of Zelda game was made maybe, I don't know, 2, 3 years later than it was, so that they had the better hardware in the cartridges and knew a bit more on how to use the system, because the later NES games actually had better hardware in the cartridges, and add that to the developers having more experience. There's a ROM hack of The Legend of Zelda that demonstrates this rather well, because it tries to expand on what's already there with with using the same hardware that would be in the normal cartridge and not upgrading what hardware was being emulated. So while later NES games could do much better things, the ROM hack, because of the limitations the person put on himself, really chugs even just having 3 enemies on a screen, which is the limit that he seems to use. But we're not. The video's not on that, it's on this, so that's a bit of a tangent. one thing that you maybe could do, it's just a suggestion, it wouldn't really, I guess it wouldn't really improve anything or make much of a difference, but you could change the blue outline for the message boxes to match the color of the text used for the character's name. Make it so that longer text strings still show which character is talking even when the name label isn't being used at the moment. Just an idea. It's not like it's that difficult now, but this is a lot of dialogue. I mean, I'm not complaining, but looking at the, I wasn't expecting this much. I kind of figured it was, as a demo, it was just going to be, here is Ganon, take this sword, go get him. Have a dungeon. It's a lot of dialogue. Oh, okay. Gameplay. I don't have anything. Okay, so, starting... Let's see. I'm at about 8.5 minutes in, so... Let's take a look at the overworld. Looks very nice. I like how you get the lightning effect while still using the same color limitations. It's a little bit awkward how you can't go down here, although there isn't a visual to explain why, but I can I understand you're trying to get the player to go where you want. And I'll admit, it's a lot less obvious than than just a wall of bushes. The only thing hurting the illusion of this being an actual NES game is the audio quality. If there were NES type versions of these songs, they would probably match pretty well with the graphics. I thought that the getting to actually control the player was the end of the opening cutscene. Kinda starting to take back what I said about starting the overworld timer. Pokemon music? Okay, it's a bit unexpected. Huh. Okay. Well... Okay, there's no talking to people. Okay, I'm getting a sword. This is gonna be the actual go around the overworld. I hope. So I'll start the timer when I actually get to pick up the sword. This is a lot of exposition from one guy. Now, is it going to be, you know, all of the expositions coming from this guy, or are we going to have information at a steady pace from different characters? Okay, I got the sword. So, 3 minutes and 20 seconds in. Or 13 minutes. Wow. Okay, so let's try going over overworld stuff now. Okay. That's nice. I like the palettes. And I am honestly impressed with how well you've managed to get the Game Boy graphics to match up with the NES graphics. Oh hey, now I can explore the rest of the town. Okay. That's... Okay, that seems a little bit pointless. You know, I mean, I can just pick up hearts in the grass. I mean, I'm doing it now. Maybe it'd be more useful if it was something like 20 rubies, because, you know, there's not much of a point to that. To be fair, I only picked it up because I was thinking maybe that the pieces of hearts used similar graphics to the heart refills. But oh well, at least I'm picking up money fast enough I can pick up that shield soon. Actually, now I can. Okay. So let's try looking around now. Oh boy. I just remembered why I hate Armos. The fast ones always seem to get me. So yeah, I really like the setting. The music choice at first seems rather odd, but you get used to it. I don't know why, but it just seems like an oddly... as weird as it seems oddly fitting, and... Is this like the end of the overworld for the demo, or...? Because it just kind of stops there for no reason. Well, nothing against the full game, just... It's usually kind of weird when you just have it blocked off and no really way of letting somebody know. Oh. I hate it when that happens. You get hearts back very quickly. I mean, wow. Okay, I was heading for the castle, wasn't I? I mean, wow, that's getting stuff really fast. I mean, I can't really complain about the money, because, well, I had to actually buy the shield. I didn't just get it or find it. Unless there's one hidden somewhere I didn't know about, but... Wow. Maybe... No, it's nice not ever having to worry about the money, but... There's so many hearts, it kind of takes any feeling of, you know... wanting to be careful out of the... You know, it kind of makes it a bit easy. You don't really ever worry about getting hurt, because... You know... 2 seconds of cutting grass, you're gonna have... more hearts than you have room for in your health meter. I mean... I'm not saying early games should be hard, but... That's... kind of excessive goodies. Maybe tone down the the drop set. Can you drown? Yes. Okay. Well, I seem to be 18 minutes in, and I'm really liking the overworld, so good job on that. It's really good. Why do I keep doing that? I like how the graphics hold up, even though they come from different sources. It's a very nice touch to switch them over to the appropriate color palette. I'll come back when I have the first dungeon found, and we'll take a look at it. Hopefully it's as well done as the overworld here. Okay, we're at the dungeon. Before I begin, quick note, when you look for the dungeon, you have to find a key first, which I don't have a problem with. You know, Link's Awakening did it, the Oracle games did it, well, not most, but a lot of games do that. That's not the problem. The thing is, though, the lock block that it opens that reveals the path to the dungeon is a bush. So you don't really have a visual cue that you're supposed to use a locked key here. I only found it because I wasn't entirely sure where else I was supposed to go, and I thought maybe I was supposed to slash it with my sword. If I had gone that way first and not had the key to accidentally unlock a bush, then I probably wouldn't have thought of coming back. Maybe, so you might want to switch that for an actual lock block, or I don't know, a big post with a keyhole on it. You seem to like Pokemon music, and you have a fairly decent, you can take the graphics from one thing and edit them to look like they fit into Classic. If you've ever played the Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow games, they had these weird looking crystal posts that they would plop down to mark the edges of the map, or the the sides of a route to, define the play area. Maybe if you were to take one of those, shade it to match the other posts that you use, like the hammer posts, or whatever you're using the hammer post graphics for, so they match the rest of your game, and then you could draw a lock, a keyhole onto it, and then just make it look like, you put the key in, and then it sinks down into the ground and you can walk by. Something that wouldn't be out of place with the rest of the graphics on the overworld, but still, it's more obvious what you're meant to do with it than unlock a bush. That's not very intuitive. Well, anyways, with that out of the way, let's take a look at the dungeons. So this is level 1, as you can see. I haven't done anything past this room. Something else I wanted to bring up. I like how the enemies have been paced out so far. I didn't find anything that was overly difficult for the area of the game I was at, and yet the more I explored, the more, well, I don't really want to say dangerous, because, moblins with arrows aren't really all that more dangerous than Octoroks, but they look, they look more imposing without being more of a threat. So, you start out only seeing Octoroks, and then later you see moblins with arrows, so, it's not getting too difficult, but, the more you explore, the enemies do kind of explain, you're making progress, you're not supposed to be here yet. I liked how you used a stronger snake enemy for hiding the key. Yes, spoiler alert, even if I don't show it in the video directly, if it's something I've already passed by, I'll make a comment of it. It's not that much more dangerous than an actual snake, but the added health does give it the feeling of, this is something dangerous without being more difficult, and it's not like you flooded the room with enemies to have to take out while dodging it. So, the difficulty pacing on this is really good. It's, like I said before, it feels like a legitimate game, not, for example, with ROM hacks, they'll start the game at the difficulty levels that the end of the original game would have been at. So, it's like they're already assuming, yes, you've played the game before, now we're gonna make it more difficult until it's just unfair. Because, like, for example, with this, I've played Zelda games before, I've played a lot of Zelda games before. I still appreciate having the easy levels to kind of, get back into the feel of things before jumping straight into, the more difficult sections. You know, the more difficult levels, and well, you know, the difficulty pacing feels very... No, 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 no! Okay. Sheesh, talk while trying to play a game. Makes the game that much harder. Of course, that's just my fault, not the game's fault, so I get for trying to do a video. Very, you know... Why did I do that? No, it's a very simple theme for the dungeon, you know, just plop some trees down and change the colors, but I'm really liking it. It feels, you know, it's not just... Oh, shit! Why didn't I... This isn't fair. It's... No. Oh boy. Alright. I don't know if that's just because... Why, you know... Okay, I'm gonna bring this up now. It might be just because I'm commenting over the video, but you don't really get much room for, you know, movement on that bottom trap. Maybe if you put a little, just like a one tile wide notch into the wall down there where the trap goes to the right, just to give you slightly more dodging space and time to get through. I mean, this is level 1. Then again, it might just be me, but... Sheesh. Also, I'm noticing, even though there are trees everywhere, I can't just cut down grass for health. I'm not saying flood your rooms with grass, but maybe have a couple cuttable bushes here and there, because there aren't any pots. Especially if you're gonna have traps like, well, those. Anyways, I like the palettes on this. They feel, you know, they look pretty nice, and you really get the swamp feeling across instead of making it just feel like a forest temple. The only thing I don't really like is how when you go through the walkways, you can see Link through the bricks. I know that wasn't... Oh boy, I died in level 1. Alright. Anyways, I know that was an issue with the original Zelda, but, you know, I didn't really like it there either. You know, I know you're going for authentic, but, you know, there's a difference between feeling authentic and just leaving an error or a glitch in that, you know, doesn't have to be there. You know, personally, I wouldn't mind fudging the whole NES thing a little bit to get rid of issues like that. You know. What? Did I just get... Oh. You put... You put a healing ring in front of the boss door. That's actually a really, really clever idea. Wow. Wow, I never would have thought of that. It gives away that it's a boss door without specifically needing a boss key. You don't have any need to go out looking for health or anything. You've got it right there. It's just, works pretty good as a warning. You know, I that's a very clever idea. And, you know, yeah, I know how this isn't much different than a normal Aquamentus, even when you fight it, but just a little change like this is actually, it feels like a different fight. I mean, I understand it right now. I'm not really doing anything different than the normal battle, and, the only difference is it's shooting 1 instead of 3, but still, I'm really liking this. This is... No, just kind of shows what you can do with the enemy editor, even when you're not doing anything over the top with it. Oh, that was a... Well, yeah, of course. Obviously, it should have been obvious that was a mini-boss. I mean, I didn't get any weapons or anything, but... Wow, that was... really cool. Wow. I liked that, and I'm pretty sure I went way over my 5-minute mark. It's... Okay. That was really, really cool. I'm really liking this game so far. It's very well paced out. The only issue I can think of would be that one trap room being a bit harsh for a level 1 compared with the rest of the game, and unlocking a bush, but other than that, no, that's really, really good. I mean, look at the video. I lost track of time while just reviewing it. That's... Well, okay. I'm looking forward to the rest of this, and I'm probably going to finish the demo after I'm done with the video. That was fun. I enjoyed it. So, wow. Good job. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun to play. I liked how you blended together the Game Boy graphics with the NES graphics damn near seamlessly. The levels are paced out very well. The difficulty is nice. You do very, like you said in the topic, there's no scripting in this at all, but this is a very good example of what can be done without scripting and still feel fresh and new. You used the enemy editor in very, subtle ways that still make the game feel fresh, and instead of, oh god, it's Aguamentus again, it's, yes, it's Aguamentus again, but it's changed up enough and even very slightly to feel like a new type of fight. If I had to think of anything bad about the game, it would have to be the issues with the bush, unlocking a bush. Why? I'm not really sure if you're going for 100% NES authentic or willing to fudge what the game could have been because you have, Game Boy Advance complex music in an NES game, but you also have the whole, because black is transparent, anything overhead with a black outline is now see-through, visual. There's a better word for it, but I'm just going to call it a glitch. That's kind of what it feels like when you walk through. And even though that would be very easy to fix, it seems like that would be a choice and preference, but I'm I'm not sure which direction you want to go there. If you're going for, NES but fudged to be better, then personally I would fix that thing with the overhead problems. But if you're going for strictly NES, then maybe tweak the music to sound more NES-y, Famicom-y kind of feel to it. Um, and if I had to try to think of anything else, well, I don't know. The edges of the playable area for the demo aren't very well, drawn out. You could have done, I don't know, if you could have put something there to just show the player, don't try going this way. Um, but that's no. I'm nitpicking at this point. Honestly, you know, it doesn't really sound like it means much considering this is the first review I've done so far, but this one is the best one I've played so far. If I'd played other quests, this would still be right up there. We're off to a very strong start. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to the full game. I'm looking forward to the rest of this one, or the rest of this demo. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Really good job.